Alright, so you should have the Tutorial 7 folder copied to your desktop. Copy it to your desktop. Don't work off the server. So that is an Art 209 today's folder, and it should be copied to your desktop. And you're going to open up the program Illustrator, and you're going to say File, Open, and we're going to click Desktop. You want to go to the Art Files, and you want to choose the file Select AI. When this comes up, hit Update. Alright, so here's our file. And we're going to talk a little bit about the selection tools here. If you don't have your toolbar set up the same as mine, if it's the long, thin orientation like that, you can click this little arrow up here to change it. These double arrows, actually. Alright, so first I'm going to go to the black arrow, and when I hover my cursor over it, you see that it says Selection Tool and then the letter V. So if you hit V on your keyboard, it will select this tool. So if I go over here to my swan and I click on the wings, you can see it's selecting all these pieces. So this selects a whole object. Alright, now let me go to the white arrow, which when we hover over it says Direct Selection Tool in the letter A. And when I click on my swan, the points are all hollow now. Let me deselect it, click off. I'm going to hit V on my keyboard, and I get the black arrow. Now look, they're all filled. Deselect A, all hollow. So what's the significance of that? Well, the white arrow chooses parts of things, chooses points of things. It doesn't choose the whole object. And let's take a look here. Now notice as I'm running my cursor along there, the white arrow, there's a black dot, and when I hit certain points it turns white. And I'll zoom in a little more. There we go. That means it's over a point, and these are the points that are making your illustration. So now if I click, I can select that point. Notice now this point is filled. It's no longer hollow. So when you clicked with the black arrow, they were all filled, meaning they're all selected. The black arrow selects a hole, the white arrow selects a point. So now I can click and edit just the shape of the body of the swan. Just going to tweak it a little. Now, by the way, if you have the black arrow and then you choose the white arrow and you try and move an individual point, it's going to move the whole thing because the whole thing is still selected from the black arrow. So you have to deselect and just choose your point. Alright, so let's go. Another thing you can do with this is the same rules apply to this as do the black arrow. So with the black arrow, when we want to select more than one thing, so click and click, then click. Now if I want to select both these, you guys know from previous lectures I can hold the shift down and select both, or I can click and drag and it's going to select all of it. Now if I do that with the white arrow, I'm going to hit the A on my keyboard. I can put my cursor over here, click the one point, and then I can hold the shift down and click the other point, the end of the wings, or I can deselect, and this is what I want you to do. I can deselect and I can click and drag a square around just the point of the two wings. And notice now these are filled, they're not hollow, and I can pull up the wings a little bit. Now I'm going to go down here, and when I run my cursor through here along the bottom of the wing, you can see it lighting up. There's points here that the wing is made of. So I'm going to select one of the bottom points, and I'm going to hold the shift down, and I'm going to select this bottom point and this bottom point. So you can see these are filled. These are the ones selected. These are hollow. They are not selected. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click and I'm going to grab the line right here, just the line, and pull the wing down and over a little bit, and then deselect. So down here in the corner, you have these waves. On down here, they're orange waves. I'm going to hit V and get the black arrow because I want to select the whole thing, so I can either shift click the two or drag a box. Let's change the color. We're going to go Window, Swatches, Window Swatches, and they're way over here. Sorry about that. I'll move them over. I have this selected. I'm going to choose, you can choose anything you want. Pattern, you can choose gradient, whatever you'd like. Alright, so now I've changed the color. If you didn't have any color in here, if your swatches came up empty for some reason and you had this selected, you could always double click over here as well and get your color picker and choose a new color. There we go. Or you could use the color box and let me have an actual color in there. You could slide these around to change the color as well. Now I'm always going to want these waves to be together. I'm not suddenly going to want them to be separated. I want this to be one object. And to do that, I'm going to use a pretty simple command. I'm going to say Object Group or Command G. And now they'll move as one object. If I click on either wave, it selects them both. They aren't one object now. I can still go back if I later decided I didn't want them so close together. I could later go back and ungroup them. Now they're separate again. So object group. And whenever you see this little symbol right by your space bar is the key with that symbol on it. So Command G will group your objects. And there we go. I'm going to move it in front. So that's a little bit about our selection tools.